I think when this is over, the American people have a clear understanding of what I did, why we did it. But look, that's the job. My job is to make judgments. My job is to make judgments no one else can or will make. I made them. I'm convinced I'm absolutely correct in not deciding to send more young women and men to war for a war that, in fact, is no longer warranted.
President Biden, a short time ago, defending his decision to withdraw U.S. troops from Afghanistan. Let's get the thoughts of New York Republican Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. You saw the president's speech, news conference. What did you think?
I was disappointed again. The president looked feeble. He didn't look like he really understood what was going on the ground or was really aware of what's happening. It's very disappointing that he continues to raise the straw argument that Americans support pulling out of Afghanistan. I think they do for the most part. They are he should be criticized for the way in which it's been done. This is a disaster. It's a national security disaster. It's a humanitarian disaster as we all scramble to get people, American citizens, green card holders, Afghan translators out of that country. It is a desperate situation, and he refuses to acknowledge it.
He said, as you heard in that soundbite, that he didn't want to send any more of America's sons and daughters to die in Afghanistan, to die in the war. But it has not been a particularly hot war for a long time, 18 months since the last casualty. In that same vein, he talked about spending $300 million a day. Well, with 2,500 troops in country, which is what we had there at the end, we weren't spending that kind of cash.
No, had this been planned properly, you wouldn't be seeing the chaos and the extra expense. And might I add, there are numerous private contractors and people who are retired military who are assembling, and also we've engaged the services of some of the airlines to try to help evacuate people from this desperate situation. It's dangerous. I have people there that can't even get to the airport while Biden claims they can. It's really incredible that he continues to say that, this is this endless war. Let's say that we were starting to move into a situation where we were actually having some peace and some status quo. And had he done this properly and listened to even the cable of State Department employees who recommended to the Secretary of State and the President that we do this in a different way, that we could have done this by not putting people through the grave risk that we put them through. And the response from Secretary Blinken was, we accept dissent in our ranks, and it's a patriotic thing to do to accept dissent. And they're going to have to pay for this decision. It is tragic if you just knew what we were all going through, so many of us behind the scenes, trying to get these people out safely.
The president said history will prove him correct. Your thoughts on that? Final thoughts.
I think history is going to prove he's probably one of the worst presidents and worst commanders-in-chief that we've had in our history, especially based on this decision and many others. But this is going to, I think this is not going to age well, as Joe Biden is not aging well.
Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, as I mentioned. Congresswoman, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.